So I'm making pasta fagioli. Now this can be a side dish or an entree. I start with my favorite beans, the Rancho Gordo Royal Corona beans. You can get them mail order if you can't find them in your store. It's not that easy to find them. Okay, soak overnight or for a few hours beforehand. Go to my bay leaf, which is also a laurel tree. It's the same thing. I'm very partial to the laurel tree because who became a laurel tree in Greek mythology? Daphne, that's right. She was running from Apollo. And so I feel like I have a connection there. Plus, they make a broth tasty. So take a little snap of Daphne there and put it in your broth. Okay, cut some carrots. Easy enough. If you don't have great knife skills, remember you can always use a mandolin. It doesn't matter how you get there, just get there. My celery is at the end of its life. I love this celery. It's from my garden. It is so flavorful. I don't have big stalks anymore. But the Holy Trinity in cooking: onions, carrots, celery. Take a can of diced tomatoes and puree. Then that aforementioned bay leaf is in the water now with the beans. And that's some lard. Yeah, I went for it. I put some lard and some prosciutto cotto. But you could use ham and you could use olive oil. You could also make this totally vegetarian if you wanted to, but that's not my jam. I also put some garbanzo beans in it. I have a spatial arrangement problem. So you see that pan is a little big for the beans. Now I'm putting the beans and all the other stuff, but that's not going to be big enough. So I'm going to have to swap out the pans. Because you can imagine, once I put all the Royal Coronas in there, it's just going to be overflowing. Yeah, time to switch back. Okay, I'll put it in this pan. Put it in the all-clad. So here we go. So I'm going to start putting all of the yummy mixing, the flavor, and the beans going there. Great. Okay, problem solved. So we're back on track with the pasta fagioli. Wait a minute. You know what I just remembered? I really need a bigger pan. Okay, this is it. This will be the last time. The third pan move. So it would be easier for you. Just know to have a bigger pan. There we go. Okay, so now it's all in the pot. Now I'm adding the tomato sauce. And the thing is, I'm going to be adding more liquid, so that's another reason why I need to have a bigger pan. So I brought this to a potluck, and it was very popular, FYI. Always good to think about a cheap thing that you can bring for a large group. So I don't know if you saw that I was scooping out some of the bean mixture. That's going to be important later. Okay, adding a little chicken broth. And now I'm pureeing just a couple of the ladles of the beans and vegetables, everything. And that's really going to help thicken the sauce. And thicken in a nice way without adding any weird stuff. Okay, now here comes the pasta. You cook the pasta right in that. So you don't have to have another pot, because we know how I am with pots, of water and one more thing to clean. Got some rosemary and chopped it up. And getting all that bean puree. So the bean puree's gone in there, some chicken broth. So I'm not giving you exact measurements, because the truth is you don't really need it. I mean, you can kind of eyeball it. You're covering the beans with water. Then as you're cooking, you're like, wait a minute, I think we need a little more liquid. You could just use water, but I used broth and water. It was 1 can of diced tomatoes. And there you go. It really smelled good. It was great with the meal. Everybody loved it. And it's been very good as leftovers. I've been kind of snacking on it, even eating it cold sometimes, not even warming it up. It's probably a little bit more of like an autumnal meal, but I thought it worked fine in the summer. And very healthy. You know, beans are good for you.